It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be glad when this studio gets fixed. We're working on it. Shouldn't be much longer. But today I want to discuss the BTA. I was on their website. I saw this propaganda nonsense, bulletin, crap, update, whatever you want to call it, from Lexmark. And I'm reading through this thing and I'm thinking to myself, what in the hell is this? Is the BTA become a platform for Lexmark to do its gaslighting through? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I'm reading this update and it's just horrifying. And I think Lexmark just makes the assumption that everybody that's a BTA member is just an idiot. Because anybody that would read this and believe any of this nonsense would have to be a complete idiot. I can't believe that the BTA put this on the website and then didn't challenge what Lexmark had to say. Didn't say, hey, you know what, if you want to put that on our website, Lexmark, that's fine, but here's what we don't like about what you're saying, or here's some more information we want you to answer. They don't do any of that stuff. Remember when they had the big panel discussion up there in Boston, the BTA? A panel discussion I pretty much forced them to have. Do y'all remember that? And after that was over, I stood up and I said, thanks for having the panel discussion. And I hope this is just the beginning. I even volunteered to help them. Hey, I'll help you, BTA. I'd be happy to help the board. Well, we all know where that went. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a time that the BTA was fighting for dealers. It was all about what's good for the dealers. The hell with the OEMs. The OEMs were just a byproduct of the dealers. It was about the dealers navigating through the industry's challenges. Collectively, they could come together. They could present arguments to OEMs. They could work and share best practices. Now it's turned into, let's all get together 4 times a year, sing Kumbaya, hug and kiss each other, and let's not disrupt anything. And don't worry about anything either, because pretty soon we'll all be retired. That's what it feels like when you go to those meetings anymore. It's sad. It's really sad. But when I read this update that the BTA put on their website, I was horrified by it. So I'm going to share it with you, and I'm going to share my thoughts, because I told the BTA that I'll help them and I don't need their permission. So this is me helping the BTA board out with this nonsense from Lexmark that they plastered all over their website. So they wanted to give an update to the industry, because we all know 9-Star got banned over the forced labor, right? UFLPA. And Lexmark telling everybody that 9-Star is just one of their many investors and one of their many suppliers and blah, 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 all the nonsense they've been telling us since June 9th. Let me just read the updated part. You know, I'm not going to reiterate their crap about how, 9-Star is just one of their investors when they own 63% equity in their company. Today, I'm pleased to provide you with an update on the adjustment to our supply chain. As a global manufacturer that utilizes multi-source strategy in regional manufacturing facilities, we anticipate minimal disruption because only a small portion of Lexmark manufacturing required a transition to a new supplier. However, due to startup challenges and strong market demand, we have experienced availability challenges. Those startup challenges are now behind us. We have completed the transition to new suppliers, have been at full manufacturing capacity since mid-November, and look to fulfill all current back orders by the end of February. We also expanded our supplier base in Mexico and completed the largest supply chain warehouse move in Lexmark history. These actions position our logistics network to meet customer demand and provide additional efficiencies, flexibility, and logistical benefits to improve overall delivery to our customers and partners. I recognize that our inability to fully meet demand these past few months have been disruptive to your business. I want to personally thank you for your patience and apologize for the inconvenience this may have caused. I'm excited about 2024 and the opportunity to bring you groundbreaking new offerings that position Lexmark to outperform our competitors in 2024 and beyond. We value your partnership and look forward to continued success together. And this was published by Mrs. Hudson. Ladies and gentlemen, the only thing I could say to this, I have to write it down, and I got the magic pen working here, is I just want to say this. Bull. And then I'm going to have to say the bad word. Shit. So here you got Lexmark, whose owners, 9-Star, have the aspiration to be the largest printer manufacturer in the world, building a massive manufacturing facility in Zhuhai, China. Lexmark's telling you that, well, 9-Star is just one of their many suppliers. Lexmark's telling you that it won't even affect them back in, right after the ban, a couple weeks later when they did that first press release. It won't even really affect us because they're just one of our suppliers. And then I guess it did affect them because they had to apologize to you because they had some issues. Well, they were looking for a new supplier. It seems to me that the reason I'm saying this is bullshit is because Lexmark could have told you who the supplier is. Who's making your machines now? You should share with the entire world your complete supply chain. From the bolts on the machine, to the frames, to the covers, to everything. Your owners, 9-Star, have been banned over the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act. Okay? So you have some responsibility here, Lexmark. And you should have shared with the entire world with this stupid bullshit press release exactly where your machines are being manufactured. Who's manufacturing them? I mean, did you join the group that Toshiba Tech and Ricoh put together? Are you part of that? Is Ricoh making your machines now? Biggest warehouse move in history. What warehouse did you move? Did you move stuff from China into Mexico? Are you trying to get stuff that's made in Mexico to say it's made in Mexico even though it's just components are all coming in from China and it's put together in Mexico? Ladies and gentlemen, bullshit is what you got to call it. And the BTA, like I said, they had no problem. They could have let them put that on there. But the BTA should have followed up with some more teeth to the substance of this and demanded that Lexmark give them that substance, because as far as I'm concerned, that's just a bunch of crap. So yesterday I did a video on Lexmark. Shortly after their CEO puts out this little LinkedIn post. Let me just read this really quick for you. As I reflect on this past year, I'm deeply impressed by our global team's remarkable achievements in 2023. Lexmark has reached significant milestones in both our industry and culture. Yeah, they got some print award from Coursera. IDC gave them some kind of crap. Ladies and gentlemen, you would think that the CEO of Lexmark would be so excited. Would be so excited if that press release had any substance to it whatsoever, that he would be bragging that they replaced 9-Star and all its subsidiaries, wouldn't he? That would be a milestone achievement. You know, we were bought by a PRC firm called 9-Star, who got banned by the Department of Homeland Security. 2023 was a terrible, terrible year for Lexmark. But we divested ourselves from 9-Star. We're making all of our machines through another manufacturer. Here's that manufacturer. Here's the facility we're making them in. Here's the complete description of our supply chain. Wouldn't that be special? Nah, we don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about some Managed Print Services Award we got. Something from IDD. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. This is absurdity. That our industry just needs to be pacified and to look the other way. Talk about some stupid award, look the other way. Oh yeah, I don't need to pay attention to that. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you all need to pay attention to that. I want to share this with you. I found this on the U.S. Customs Border Protection website. Back in 2019, 2018 timeframe, Lexmark was trying to get U.S. Customs and Border Protection to say that certain machines were made in Mexico. We need a made in Mexico label on those machines. Why is that? Are they ashamed to say it's made in China? Did they know that, the Chinese, the PRC company that owns them, 9-Star, could be using slave labor and one day that could be a problem? Why do they want it? Why are they so obsessed to have it say made in Mexico versus made in China? Are they not proud of their ownership? Because, boy, 9-Star's proud as shit they own Lexmark. They got it plastered all over their website. But, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to share this with you because the customs people said, no, those products are made in China. This is a long report. I'm not going to read the whole thing here. I'll put a link on it, today's episode. But, in 2023, it was like April of this year, is when the decision came down on an argument that was started in 2018, 2019. And it had to do with Lexmark's MS, MX, and CS and CX series printers. For the purpose of marking, in August 28, 29, you made a supplemental submission via email containing photographs and descriptions. In other words, we want you to say that this stuff's made in Mexico. Let me just cut to the chase. The country of origin of the Lexmark MS, MX, and SC or CS and CX series of printers imported from Mexico for the purposes of the application of Section 301 Trade Remedy, duties for goods under subheading 9903.88.03 HTSUS will be China. In other words, No, Lexmark, they're actually made in China. Because it's just a game people play. So you're manufacturing these machines in China, then you break them apart, you send the components over to Mexico. Oh, they're made in Mexico. We didn't use any slaves here. We only used the slaves in China. But they weren't manufactured in China. They were manufactured in Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why Lexmark cannot get away with putting this crap on the BTA's website, hoping you all turn the other way. This is why the BTA and the leaders at the BTA need to be a little bit more challenging. Because after all, aren't they supposed to be helping the dealers? Isn't that the purpose of it? What are you all paying the association to do? Maybe it is just hang around 4 times a year, hug and kiss each other, sing Kumbaya, and hope it all works out till you all retire. Who knows? But I think you could do more. And I think you should demand more. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this story's not going away just because the industry wants to turn its head, look the other way. And unfortunately, the procrastination around this story is going to cause people some severe pain. We just saw where Lexmark trying to get rid of 30% of their staff. That's a growing company. Everything is great at Lexmark. We're getting rid of 30% of our staff. Ladies and gentlemen, you better get prepared. You better start talking to other OEMs, and you better not let Lexmark get away with their nonsense just because it's on the BTA's website. And everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.